مع إلى هذه النصيحة، لو كان فعل ذلك، لو كان فعل هذا، ربما لم يكن أي شيء من تلك الأحداث قد حدث. في لحظة حسيت إن هو لم يستمع لنصيحتك وكانت مهمة في هذا الشأن؟
No, of course, you know, the leaders of the world, it's very difficult because they have to think of the international politics. They have to think of the country itself, and they have councillors, they have ministers, and I think they have the public opinion, and that's important. But if a wife is always very difficult, because first of all, when you say something to your husband, you have to have enough good information, because you might say something and 3-4 other people might say otherwise. From what I saw or what I was feeling, I was telling him, and he was agreeing with me, and maybe on some subjects I was not aware, or I got too excited because somebody was coming and telling me something. And I remember my husband was telling me, never go alone to the judge, because you know, somebody comes to you and says something, you get overexcited. No, because it's a mixture of so many things, because it's not only my husband, it's the government, it's the prime minister, it's all the generals, it's all the governors. I mean, it's everybody. Of course, now I always think like what the Romans said was, when the war is won, everybody has participated. When it's lost, it's only one responsible. And now there are many people who write, yes, I have told this to the Shah, if he had listened to me, I have told this, and everybody knew better. Yeah. And I tell them, okay, that's past. You cannot go to the past. If you are really caring, think what we should do today, and say it loudly, not and say it publicly. Don't come and say it to me privately. Say it loudly. But
ما زلتي ترتدين دبلته، يعني خاتم الزواج، مش كده؟
Yes. And that's the platinum one. When he passed away here, the doctor took it out, and I put it here, and it has been always with me since then, except if I go and do some MRI, I have to take it away. But otherwise it's...
يعني تعتزين بذلك أكثر، ولا تتذكرين الحجر الكبير، هذا الخاتم الضخم الذي يعني منحه لك عند زواجك؟
What was it? He gave me first, of course, he gave me some jewelry. I remember it, but frankly now, after what has happened, even then, I wasn't so much interested in jewelry.
Really?
Really, because not once I asked my husband to buy this or that. Maybe only once I saw an emerald. I asked him, all the 20 years. But because I was not interested, I had all the beautiful jewels at the crown jewels in the bank. I could wear the most beautiful thing. And I really didn't care about that. And speaking of Dior and dresses, it's true that Dior made my dress and so on, but the last years of Iran, most of my dresses were in Iranian handicraft, because I wanted to promote handicraft, embroidery material, and and they were very beautiful.
هل كان رحيل ليلى ابنتك الصغرى أقصى شيء مر عليك منذ رحيل الشاه؟
It was, because it's very hard.
I'm sorry.
You know, for a mother, for every mother, it remains a wound in your heart. And Leila was such an intelligent girl, and so sociable, and she loved life, and it's very hard, and also for her brothers and her sister, even with my 2 granddaughters, Noura and Iman, who were very close to Leila. It's very hard for every mother, but
you think تعتقدين أنها لم تتمكن من المواصلة؟ she couldn't take it يعني؟
I think it was a mixture of many things, of being away from the parents and not having the right people at the right time, and hearing so much, and the death of her father and what was she was hearing. And she was very politically also vocal. She was discussing with people. And I must say that even for the children, when they met Iranians, they were very sweet to them. And then maybe the wrong friends who, they say, take this, tranquilizers and sleeping pills, and also this problem that was in America called the chronic fatigue syndrome, and then the eating disorder, which is a problem now today for many girls. All that mixed up, that unfortunately, one day you take too many sleeping pills, and it's the end.
3 نبوءات توقعنا لك ألا تكوني إنسانة عادية. ذكرت ذلك في الكتاب، تتذكرين هؤلاء السيدات؟
I think yes. Maybe I've written about when I was young. A lady was sitting in the street who was seeing the life, and she told me that you will marry a military. And then later on, I remember, for instance, when I met the Shah for the first time in Paris from close, and then some of the people who were there, they said, yes, when you left, he was looking at you. And as I wrote in my book, that when my husband had divorced Princess Soraya, the children, not the children, my friends in school architecture in Paris were telling me, and in the newspaper they were writing that the Shah is looking for a new wife, and they were putting pictures of different people, and they said, why not you? You're cute, you're nice. Why not you? Laughingly, I would say, why not? Why don't you write to the Shah and so on? And they would say, if you become the Queen of Iran, what would you do? I said, I will invite you all to come to Iran. And I did invite some of them. So all that with joking and smiling.
لم تحلمي، لم تتوقعي أبدا أن تكوني إمبراطورة إيران، شهبان إيران؟
No, I didn't, because it's funny that some of our friends, I think I have written in my book also, like we were in Spain in '58 with my friends on vacation, and one of my friends who was from Afghanistan, and we were keeping souvenirs of the cards signed by everybody. She wrote, Faradiba equal Farah Pahlavi. God knows, I don't know.
جلالة الإمبراطورة فرح بهلوي، يريد أن أشكرك بشدة على هذا الحوار، وأسألك كيف تنظرين إلى المستقبل؟
First of all, I wanted to say that how happy I am that my memoir is published in Arabic. Because even my children, Reza Ali, Reza and Farhana, were saying, how come it's not published in Arabic? And the Arab world is very important to us, and it's for the Middle East, for Iran, and we have so many good friends and good relations with many Arab countries, and I'm really very happy that it's been translated into Arabic. When I think of the future, I really want to hope that the Iranians will get of this oppressive regime, and that our country will remain in one piece, and inshallah they will have a better life, the freedoms that they want. And it's very important, it's not only Iran, but it's the whole Middle East and the rest of the world, because unfortunately I believe this religious fanaticism which started with Khomeini is taking over in many countries of the world.
وأنا أتمنى لك حظا وافرا وحياة سعيدة، وأن تعودي يوما إلى إيران.
إن شاء الله. Thank you very much. شكرا ومع السلامة.
شكرا. كانت هذه فرح بهلوي أو فرح ديبة أو الشهبانو كما كانوا يطلقون عليها في إيران. وأشكركم، وهذه لميس الحديدي تحييكم. تصبحوا على خير.